like Six of Crows, it's like Jude is the main character and she is a human in a world full of fairies. So it's kind of her trying to navigate that and work her way up to the top because humans aren't very respected. So yeah, that's the plot of that one. Let's move on to the next. The next book is one that I'm currently rereading because it's just that good. It's a big one. It's a big one. It's called A Court of Mist and Fury. A Court of Mist and Fury. It's in the ACOTAR series by Sarah J. Maas, which is very popular. But yeah, this book is definitely one of my favourites, hence why I'm rereading it. I will read you the blurb. Oh yeah, it's also the second book in the series, because I think it's the best book in the series, so you would have missed out on the first one, but I'll explain it to you. Feyre. Feyre is the main character. Feyre is immortal. She has rescued her lover Tamlin from the sadistic fairy queen and now possesses fey powers beyond imagining. But Feyre cannot forget the destruction she wrought to save her beloved, nor the bargain she made with Rysand, High Lord of the feared Night Court. And Feyre is drawn even deeper into Rysand's world. She senses a dark pain in his heart that echoes her own. For good or ill, Feyre must embrace the changes within her. War is looming, and only the full might of her new powers can save the people she loves. Yeah, that's that one. It is a little bit spicy, like the scenes, but I think it's, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's an amazing book, like in terms of how it's written. Like it's not going to be the next classic or anything, but it just, you know, when it's like something comforts you and you don't know why, it's like a comfort book for me, which is why I'm rereading it at the moment, because I need a bit of a comfort. But it just feels like it's very found family, and the characters are like, it feels like they're my friends when I'm reading it, which sounds kind of weird, I know, but I don't know, I just like being in that universe. I like reading that book. So yeah, let's move on to the next book. The next book is also a really big book. It's pretty chunky. It's called The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. This book is an urban fantasy, and I read it quite recently. Quite recently. It's the first book in a series, and I got the rest of them for Christmas, so I'm gonna try and read them soon. But it's an adult fantasy, so I was a little bit scared going into it, but I really liked it, and I read it really quickly. And considering how big of a book this is, I think that's quite impressive. I'll read you the blurb. The mists rule the night, the Lord ruler of the world. For 1,000 years the ash fell. For 1,000 years the scar slaved in misery and lived in fear. For 1,000 years the Lord ruler reigned with absolute power and ultimate terror. Divinely invincible, every attempted revolt has failed miserably. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Yet somehow hope survives. second